All right, if y'all saw the White Toilet Paper USA halftime show with the Kid Rock, you saw that he was lip syncing. And now they're talking about the lip syncing and all these things, and they're trying to so-called cover their ass. However, the sync that Elon brought in was brought in 119 weeks ago and 5-6 days or so, counting or not counting the starting date. But the X-ray vision to see through the walls, the TIM walls, that cis-TIM, and those types of things going on that will be unraveling as the Epstein and the Ghislaine and such, as she's asking for that pardon for that Putin, that hole-in-one. So different things are all going into a little mechanism, and then Oklahoma has the reserves and the Cushing and whatever, and then the $1.5 billion cannabis kingpin is being reported today, connected to the Asian mafias and whatever, and then getting chinkai or whatever they used to say when it happens when you get too ripped. That's that rest in peace, and you got that peace and safety and that board of peace and those war times all breaking open before you. So as I've told you some things before, and that Kevin Constitution and that Kevin McCarthy and those types of things, that Home Alone and the Home Alone, the loan for the banks, and those types of things stacking as you didn't make your payments, and Lockdown 2.0 and whatever else. That's where all these things are shifting and changing, and a new heaven and earth are setting as you're going into that little capstone, which is a foundation to the new world, and collection device to the old world, and those things that we've gotten into before. But the Cushing, Oklahoma, the oil reserves, the pipelines, all these things going in through Oklahoma. You have that Trojan horse, the T. Rogan horse, all those things playing out. The Trojan horse, the January, the Chinese New Year, the horse rider this year, the puka comes in. It's a kind of a shapeshifter, but that's where you get the horse. It usually is a horse or a rabbit. That's where you get the Bad Bunny coming in, and then things are split, and you have two shows going on at once. One is real, one is stage, and then the Kid Rock. The things are showing with these things, it seems that it's staged. In one level, the TPUSA and Charlie Kirk could have been that one who staged his own death. And then he comes back and he does his transfiguration and whatever else. Or it could be teaching a light sequence where he gave his life for his son in a way, as or he laid down his life for his son, as we're told in that script, for that scripture for your world stage. And as Satan and Jesus is here manifesting, that's where those given over to the delusion, those given over to the serpent, the who, all those things, as you're going into the nighttime forest and things are getting dark in the garden and whatever else that you're going into now as the second coming of Adonis here. But the Charlie Kirk, the Char, the Lee, the Dragon, the Bruce Banner, the Bruce Jenner, the Shapeshifters, all those kinds of things as you're into the Netflix, the Magnetics, the Netanyahu, and those things as you're being told. You're basically under that red heifer sacrifice, and the Chuck roast, and those things are kind of going on as we hit those Chuck Berry sequences, and the Barack Obama being turned into the ape, and those types of things. So the Charlie Kirk staging his own death, that's on one level, or teaching a light sequence where he's taken out, and then his wife got pregnant, so-called, and now she's having Charlie's baby, and that would be showing this seed from this man being born again into this world through this and these types of things. But the next 20 years and such will be playing these things out as you're replaying the time of the Nazis, and that ended like in 1945. The 1945 to the 2045, the Manhattan G5 project, the 5G, all those things playing out that we've gotten into a long time ago, connecting all these points of time. But Trump is part of that Manhattan G5 5G project, bring in a new world order. As the new world order, the ice is worldwide. The Antarctica, where it's a circle, and then the Antarctica where it's a island, all those kinds of things are being shown to you in one way, shape, or form. And then also Antarctica being the so-called largest desert in the world, according to the Will Smith documentary. That ties into your first tale and the Vikings and the cold, the Scandinavia, the Ice Age, and all those things that we've gotten into, folks, before. Okay, so the born again sequence with his son in the 2045, and this being the birth of the Gestapo and the Ice Age and this cleansing and whatever else, as the serpent seed, the has to be gathered up, and basically you probably have these 12 tribes, so-called these 12,000 or whatever, that feed this projection, and we'll see that the polio and those things that were shown in the past play out again as this, all this motion picture, this fiction was shown to you. And what else have you done your history? And these work like all over. There's a couple places in the United States that had these little things going on, but so the Home Alone, the Lone Star State, the Elon Musk has his own city, the Landman, the mineral rights, all these things, the oil, all going into a little thing. And then your Oklahoma with your Trojan horse and all the different types of things going on with there. I told you about like a processing plant. Basically the Oklahoma market was like a last test per se, and this is where they wanted to bring in it was this kind of market, but it was also this, but they wanted to bring in this, and then the people spoke up, and now he's wanting the people to vote against it and whatever. All these little cannabis, recreation, the 2 states or whatever, all these are like dark sentencing legends in a way to give us pathways in this tree of life, so-called, that grows or flowers in the dark. Because when you look at things, when you look at a plant, it grows one way and does certain stuff during the daytime, and then at the nighttime it does certain things. You come back to it, man, it grew overnight, those kinds of things. So it's where we're actually living in darkness under the light, and anyway, that ties into the quantum stuff. We'll get into some other videos on the quantum and the things around you in English, the beginning declared from the end, and then you're going into that Latin X, the Valentine's Day, the Roman language. All the Romance languages were built on the Latin, the LA10, the Tin Man. And then the score is 29-13, so that 10, if you got 10 to the 3 days and whatever else can be lining up as your Kid Rock is giving signals and going live and whatever else from his living room. And so the oh man, I guess we'll just wrap it up here, folks. All right, we got off on the little rabbit trails, those little Bad Bunny trails. The Bad Bunny and those tricks are for kids. Looks like colorful rabbit turds. And those serial killers, so-called, are going to be breaking out for your king spirit. Okay, so those are just some plays for your robots, and as your Jesus goes to the cross, and you're crossing that parking lot. I've just got done with your idol worship. Walking down them aisles, Section 4. These four heads are coming to a clash. Wow, there's only the top row and the bottom row. The top row, get the name of that cereal that's like eating rocks. But you gotta prepare yourself for that one because it'll break your teeth. Yeah, either way, that chopping the head off, that herd coming for those white horse riders, or the pale horse or the black horse, red, whatever, part of that reaching for. And that John Reacher, I think that's his name, but John, it doesn't matter. Wild times, those wild times. Shit, there ain't nothing to eat. They banned this, that, and the other. That beer tastes like piss for a reason. Gotta drink that shit cold, because once it gets warm, the skunk starts coming out. That skunk, that bow, that musky scent is already here as the old dawn of time has come in through a little eclipse. Little dark suns and white lights, dark lights, whatever, red circles, white circles that we've been seeing and tracking in different ways. But these are all those little energy systems, and like your dark lights, your dark white lights, like Michael Urban or Jordan or Barkley or whoever. The NBA, still smacking the ass and taking showers with each other and piling up on each other and all these things that whatever, but take that old turd out of the ass. No football, soccer balls, little tea bags. And that lit tin tea is going to be served up with that rib a little bit. And those hives, that HIV and that electronic age, techno. As your ass starts burning from the radiation from the phone. If you haven't already felt it or whatever. That felt that green, softness for the pool table, for the flow of waters. Okay, folks, everything is connected on these times. That's how you know English is the first and last language. And it's magical powers to it. So, all the Latin language, the Romance languages or whatever, they all connect. And when you look at these things, you can see the same message a different way and whatever else. Sometimes it's easier to see it in the Spanish. It depends on, because the Spanish has the 28 or the 30 alphabet. You're in the alphabet years, and as you're in the 26 to the 28, 30, and then those overlap with the 9/11, and all these things overlap with the 88s. And Trump gets to be 88 at a certain point in time, and all those takes you into your 2045 sequence, and the 100-year man with merge with machine, and I'll do another video on this, but to tie in the man merged with machine, basically the AI, we built this world up, but now we built this world up. Earth 2.0 is where we make man through a machine, and it comes in and takes over what we just got done building on, and we got to do that so we can build up to the next level. Okay, so this is where AI and the robot or whatever is coming out to take out this, but as it takes it out, it takes it over, and we can build up over and push ourselves into the next level. Okay, folks, so these are amazing times that we are in, and the cleansing process and understanding this decades and table games that we've been in, and the 10-year, 20-year, 30-year cycle as a motion picture is given life, and all these things. We can see how these things can take hold, and we can see way down into the future a little bit.